All right, Brian Gossett, GM Sports Media out in Arlington. The District 86A championship game won by the Bowie Vols 24-21 over SGP. I got head coach for Bowie, Joseph Sam.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on defending the title. You mentioned going back-to-back, first time in program history.
Yes, sir.
That's happened. Just take me through this victory in this big-time moment.
Well, I told the kids in the pregame, both teams are about to win this district championship. I said the team that's going to come out on top is the one that is going to will themselves into it, because they got a heck of a team over there. Coach DeLay does an awesome job. But, we made one more play than they made.
Yeah.
And that's usually sometimes that's what it boils down to when you're playing two great football teams.
You were able to get up 17-0 at the first half. Your defense came up big and put your offense in positions to score. Just kind of talk about that defensive unit there to get those takeaways.
Yeah, all week I'm hearing it, that we don't play good defense here and all this other stuff, but we played pretty damn good defense today. And they got us early with some adjustments, and we adjusted back, and we were able to get the victory because of it.
What were you kind of telling your players as SGP was kind of gaining some momentum in the second half?
Just go back to your training. Don't lose focus. And they got us because of their tempo. They're good at it. And they got us misaligned on the first touchdown. The second touchdown, we ran the blitz wrong. So they do a good job, and they maximize their talent by doing that. And like I said, kudos to those guys for getting back to the game and showing their fight for sure.
Obviously, a team sport, and you've been at Bowie for long enough. You've had hundreds of kids come through Bowie. But kind of take me through Jaden Bibbs, your quarterback. What makes him special?
Well, his superpower, like I just tell everybody, is that his decisions are elite. He knew when to pull it down. He made the right reads. He knew when to pull it down, get the chains moving, and that's what he does a great job of doing. And he's our leader. We have another great quarterback in Mason Nichols, but it's Jaden Bibbs' night, and he did a freaking awesome job just by keeping the chains moving when we need them to be moved.
I know you're going to be focused on next week and one game at a time, but
yes, sir.
I asked Jaden this, but when Bowie's clicking on all cylinders, how dangerous can this team be in the postseason?
Well, you saw a glimpse of it in the first half.
Yeah.
We're pretty daggum dangerous when all sides are clicking on all cylinders. We definitely got things we got to clean up and get better at.
Yeah.
But like I said, the will of our kids, they willed themselves into this win, and that's my proudest moment. One of my proudest moments as a coach is not only going back to back, but just willing themselves to victory on a team that was really good.
Well, I'll tell you this, Coach, 19 pickers, 18 took STP, so you stumped us for sure. Congratulations on back-to-back.
Gotcha.